So for years I've been wanting to write a book, and I got to a point where I feel like I was telling so many people that I was writing a book that I actually had to do it. And yeah, what's always been on my heart is that the word doctor means teacher. So part of the motivation was that I think across the board there's just a substandard healthcare in the world, you know, where people leave paid consultations without getting educated about the actual body, you know. And yeah, if you're leaving a paid consultation without getting educated, then I think you've seen a businessman, not a doctor. Yeah, so I just wanted to just educate people in a very chilled way. And I think the 2 editors that I worked with made a world of difference. The first draft that I had was horrendous, to be honest. And yeah, I used the lockdowns to the like best of my actual ability. Started working with the first editor, Neil, that was from March last year, and then Kerry took over, and they both transformed the book in their own ways. I think movement is from the like Hippocratic oath, you know. Hippocrates himself said that it's all based in like movement, you know. If you stay idle, you will get ill. And yeah, I think I read it the other day. The first sign of compassion within humans and like primates was that if someone broke their femur in nature, if there was no one to help them heal, they would die, because you can't physically move, you will die, you know. So movement, like either someone's going to help you move, or you have to move yourself, or you will die. And then so there's the survival aspect, but then there's also the aspect past survival where we can actually thrive, you know, and we can actually just do better. And I feel movement is just one of the aspects that can help with dietary stuff and help with mental health, you know, which is obviously huge. So I found the phrase from someone else that sitting is the new smoking. And I think it's actually been tweaked since I published the book, that just sitting incorrectly for and sitting for too long is not great, you know. There is no way that our spine is designed to be stationary, because sitting alone isn't bad. If you look at African tribes as an example, they sit more than what you and I sit, but they've got no history of like back pain syndromes, you know. And it's because the whole day they're getting up to stoke a fire or kill a chicken, you know. So as long as you're breaking your cycle and getting up and moving around a lot, just breaking the cycle is so important. There's 2 neurological things that happen if you're interested in this, but just walking around or doing exercise, the physical act of your eyes moving horizontally in your head. So either if your head is moving looking straight forward, or if your head is straight and your eyes move horizontally, that's called self-generated optic flow. And that is how your body naturally decreases its stress levels. And also if you're someone who finds that you sigh a lot, like a physiological sigh is an interesting thing. It's your body's natural way of lowering its stress levels. So you often hear people, you know, but if you slow it down and you watch what they're doing, is they're actually taking 2 quick in breaths with a slow out breath, and that's how your body lowers its stress levels. It's the like same breath that you do when you're crying, you know, like very emotional, like, you know. Yeah, so your body has all these natural mechanisms that you just want to try and tap into. And when you're stuck sitting a lot behind a desk, often you just can't do those natural things, you know. Yeah, so how I'm sitting now is absolutely the worst way, but I'm assuming that we're only here for about half an hour today, right? So it's okay. But yes, the word lumbar support on a chair is the worst word ever invented, right? Because it actually isn't giving your back support, it's actually taking away your back's natural core support. So the term backrest is better. You should use the backrest of the chair when your back is tired. So ideally, if you have to sit, you want to be sitting towards the edge of the chair and really using your own core to hold yourself upright. The best way to describe a posture would be a bobblehead. So if you can imagine, if I'm sitting up straight, my head should be able to fall in any direction, whereas when we're sitting against backrests, the head can only do one thing, only fall forward. Mm-hmm. So 100s club is if you're standing on one leg with your arms to the side, you're just doing like 100 small revolutions. It's just trying to open up the actual shoulders, but also activate the back muscles. Because the entire day we're activating our muscles in a hunched position, you know, small finger tapping. So we have these very strong, active, rounded shoulders. We just need to slowly start opening it up. You can start with your eyes open. So one leg starts to get the body used to doing some proprioceptive work. So proprioception is a fancy word. If you stand on one leg and you close your eyes, your ankle's going to go crazy to try and help you balance. And that is the function of proprioception, is the body's natural way of the joints telling the brain where it is in space. So if we can start training the balance things, your body will start strengthening those neural pathways to ultimately start inducing change long term. So yeah, the like media really, like the media around exercise makes six packs look good, you know. Six packs are made in the kitchen, you know, it's just diet. But core, yeah, so having abdominals alone is pointless because it's going to be strengthening you in the flexed, the bad position, you know. Core is the activation of the whole box. So from the bottom, it's your pelvic floor, top is your diaphragm, there's the abs, there's the transverse abs, there's the oblique, so there's like this whole box of actual muscle that if it's active, it's designed to control your spine. And what happens with backrests and just bad postures is that once that core activation falls asleep, then all the big muscles have to start doing posture work, and that's going to cause you pain. Yeah, so pain is a real fugazi, like it's just, it means nothing really. It's often, so pain, the best definition of pain is that it's whatever the patient says it is, you know. Some people have high pain thresholds, which is not good, because by the time they eventually feel pain, the joint is probably wrecked. Some people have low pain thresholds, which isn't a bad thing because it means that they come see us sooner, you know. But often pain is the last, it's the piece of straw that broke the camel's back. By the time you actually feel pain, there's been months to years of wear and tear or mechanical strain, and you finally felt pain. So we are very grateful for pain because it's what brings most patients to see us. But it's not the be-all end-all. We do a range of baseline functional tests, and that's how we see if we're helping patients. Because pain comes and goes. And like you said with your brother, the physiotherapist, is it right? I tell patients, I warn every single patient that it might feel like I've punched them. And it's often true, you know. If you get a joint moving that hasn't moved for a while, or a muscle, the body's first response is sometimes to overprotect, and it often causes more pain. So that's why I say pain means nothing. It's just be mindful of it. I've had lots of patients who joke that I've saved their like marriage or saved random things, you know, just by decreasing a low grade pain. It just makes you not in the mood to do anything, you know, or like the odd dull headache. You're just not yourself, you know, moody. So often pain isn't described as pain. It's just like I'm tired or I'm fatigued. My back is tired, you know. So yes, chronic pain is a big one. It's also often very poorly managed, you know, just with chronic medication. Obviously medication, nothing against medication, has its place, obviously. But sometimes chronic medication isn't helping the person long term. It's just buying some time. So even inflammation on its own is like a misnomer, because inflammation is how the body heals itself, so it is essential. But chronic and long-term inflammation is not great for the body. So you have to find that happy medium, you know. Same with stress. Some stress is what wakes us up in the morning. It's what makes us hungry, hangry. So some of the inflammation is good, but chronic inflammation is bad, and a lot of that is dietary. So fried foods, I mean, it's basically things with labels on, things with sugar in. That's a good summary, I think. Or the other way to look at it is, if you can grow it yourself, it's good for you. If you can find it, it's good for you. And if you yourself can hunt it, it must be good for you. That's how I think God designed it.
Yeah.
So zone 2 exercise is low heart rate exercise. So if you're doing a run, you want to be ideally going at a pace that you can speak at comfortably. So either you can use heart rate monitors and that, but if you don't have a heart rate monitor, you can just really go slow. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. So I was getting constant niggles, shin splints, lower back aches, hamstring niggles. And my friend Clinton, who taught me about zone 2, he's a professional triathlete, and he always told me, Cuan, he said, Cuan, you're always running too hard. And I was like, but it feels comfortable, you know. And if you're running into zone 3 and 4, which is the higher to middle heart rate zones, all the time, you're actually never recovering. So we go back to the recovery seesaw, and zone 2 is what helps the body recover. So you can do zone 2 or low heart rate exercise every day and you'll never get injured, touch wood. If you're always in the zone that's a little bit faster and you're always chasing down someone up the road, or you're always just pushing a little bit, you aren't necessarily getting faster, but you also aren't recovering. So it's a catch-22. Yes, you're burning energy, so you might be getting your weight goals, but from a healing and a health point of view, you're actually just hurting the body. So the golden rule is spend 80 to 90% of your time in the slower, lower stress exercise. And when you go hard, go hard. That's when you want to go till you throw up, or do the hard exercise, the hard HIIT workouts.
Yeah.
But most of our life is so stressful alone, you know. Life is stressful, our cell phones are stressful, just driving a car is stressful. From my personal experience, just being proactive and just making a choice to make a change is the first step, you know. There is no one fix for all. Like you definitely can't say that exercise will cure depression, you know, because there is like proper clinical depression that's sad, that needs medication, you know. But what I've found is that often patients would have depressive symptoms and they'd be put onto psychotic or antidepressive medications, which could potentially be avoided. So I think it's just about being mindful that there are always other options, and you just have to find what works for you, you know. My brother is an orthopedic surgeon, so I feel like my book sometimes punts the medical side of things, but it's in no way against anything medicine, you know. I feel like it's just people need to know that there are other options, and it's all deep-seated into education, you know. The more you know about yourself and what you can do for yourself, that's going to be the ultimate game changer for you. Yes, so I'm a South African trained chiropractor, and the South African trained chiropractors are quite sought after in the fact that we almost cover half of a medical degree. We do all the physical therapy modalities, we do acupuncture, so it's really cool. So we do leave with a broad sort of base of tools, and I don't even call myself a chiropractor now. I treat patients every day just down the road at Blackfen Chiropractic, and I call myself a health coach because there's just not one fix for anything, you know. There's always going to be a psychological part of a patient. There's going to be a chemical part, which is dietary, etc. There's going to be a physical part, exercise, etc. So there's multifaceted approach to a patient. Different countries have different courses for these things. So I've got, so chiros, physios, osteopaths, we all treat similar things. It's just different ways of getting there, you know.
Okay.
I refer to physios, I refer to osteopaths and chiros. It just boils down to, is the person going to be giving you a good education, and can you trust them to give you a good service? So the first consultation is always around an hour long. So we'll do a full full body assessment, a full body MOT. Because again, it's not just physical, we have to see all the other stresses, you know. And it's basically just to identify where the body or where in your lifestyle is healing getting hampered. In my book I speak about a principle called KISS, which originally was keep it simple, stupid. But my one editor thought it was a bit rude, so we said keep it simple and be smart. It's so simple that if you put your body into a healing environment, the body is designed to heal. It's a simple seesaw, you know. If your body's in a healing environment, it will get better. If it's not, it will get worse. Two examples: we see a lot of headache patients, and we see lots of low back pain patients. So there's obviously a physical aspect to it, you know. If someone's posture is horrible, their back pain will never get better. So we have to assess the physical side. At the same time, if they're eating a high inflammatory diet or a bad diet, we have to change that at the same time. Emotionally, if they're stressed, that's the like difficult one. So stress, you can simplify it, KISS, keep it simple, to 3 types of stress, where you got physical, which is the physical stuff obviously. Chemical is what you put into your mouth. And then the emotional side is the one that is difficult to control, but if you control the other 2, then the emotional side, I find, sort of follows suit. So like those 3 just intertwine themselves, you know. I've had patients who get better just because I've been positive with them, you know, or they've gotten better just because I told them to cut out something from their diet without even having to even touch them. So yes, they're all very closely intertwined. We live in this rat race world, and no one's really recovering properly. So one of the key aspects of neural reeducation is it's directly proportional to how much recovery you have. Directly proportional. So if you aren't getting deep sleep, or if you aren't able to sleep really and rest properly, nothing I can do or you can do for yourself will actually help you long term.